We are live, and somebody just said, "Aw, crap." Hopefully that's not a bad thing. But I am Ty Johnston. I'm Dungeon Master tonight for an Unnamed Adventurers Guild 5th Edition Dungeons and Dragons session adventure. Tonight I've got 3 players with me, Dan, Alex, and Matthew. And Dan, who are you playing tonight?
Okay, today I will be reprising the role of Vex Degito. She is a Celestial Warlock, Protector Asamar. So far, she's kind of got thrown in with the Unnamed Adventurers Guild. She's not real sure how she found Illumina, and she's not real sure what she thinks of these guys. A lot of them seem to be killers and marauders, but she's a little bit of a pacifist, but she's starting to come out of her shell a little bit.
Okay. Matthew, who are you playing?
I'm playing Harbeck, Braun Anvil, a dwarven cleric whose mission in life is to make the best weapon.
Okay. I'm sure Aylwin appreciates having a night off.
Yeah.
And Alex, you are?
I'll be playing Dark Shadowhunter, a human rogue that's crossing into the fighter levels, and he's been working under Aylwin for quite some time as his botanist, but from time to time he leaves to go do his own business. Hopefully what he's doing tonight.
Okay. I'm guessing Dirk is the only botanist in the guild. I might be wrong. I might be wrong on that.
As a professional career choice, yes.
Okay. Yeah, there's probably a few herbalists around or got a skill or two. But okay. As the posting for the adventure mentioned.
Well, you could say all druids are botanists.
Possibly. I could buy that argument.
Druidcraft.
It's only a cantrip. You could learn it if you wanted to. You don't even have to take a level in Druid. Just pick up the Magic Initiate feat. Okay. At the guild hall, what appears to be an 8-year-old street urchin, a little boy, comes knocking at the door and is asking for some brave adventurers to follow him. His teacher sent him, and he's supposed to get a group of stout fellows and bring them to his teacher, because apparently his teacher needs something.
I don't see why not.
Oh, and there's money involved, apparently.
Oh.
Well, I'm not a stout fellow, but I think we should probably help this boy.
Okay, well, if you'll follow me, we'll just be going a few blocks down to Cutpurse Row.
That doesn't sound like a very safe place for you, child.
For us, maybe. For him, it's probably just a cakewalk.
It's perfectly safe. Yeah, it's fine. Nobody bothers us there.
Every time I hear that some place is perfectly safe, someone tries to kill us.
It's perfectly safe for me and my friends, and for our teacher. Now,
what does your teacher teach?
Oh, lots of stuff. Lots of different things. He teaches us how to write, how to cipher mathematics, and
I feel like this is one of those things where we might as well just go see for ourselves.
You seem really wise.
Then he teaches us how to grope people and lots of different things. But it's all in the name of survival, I guess.
Sounds like what I was learning when I was a young boy.
Ooh, did you grow up on Cutpurse Row?
Something like that.
Okay. Maybe you even know my teacher. He's really old. But
I doubt
he's
it.
like, okay, follow me and I'll take you there. And let's see.
I want to call out Harbeck Braunanvil, but I know that he, like, just from his general persona and his, like, deities and stuff, I'm probably assuming he doesn't want to get his stuff stolen. So I don't know how he feels about taking this mission, but I'll invite him.
Has Dirk or anyone ever had anything stolen on Cutpurse Row?
Not yet.
Has anyone you know been killed on Cutpurse Row?
I think we killed some people last time on Cutpurse Row.
No, that was Water Rat Road. Because we killed the... Can't you remember his name? It was up by the harbor. It was up by the harbor. Where we ambushed the guy after we were playing Bone Dice.
Oh.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
That was up here, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Water Rat Road and, like, actually right in between 26 and 27.
Yeah, right in there.
Yeah. We killed like 4 people in there.
I think of that little building right there.
Oh, sorry, we killed 3 of them. Got 1 of them killed by somebody else. And we just left the guy unconscious with his bone dice.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You left him at the table.
Ellen didn't kill anyone.
Me neither.
No. Well, the little boy will lead you from the guild, and he'll actually kind of take a long way around down the Street of Shadows. And you pass it, this inn. There's an inn here, and there's an inn here. So kind of on either end of Cutpurse Road is there's an inn. An inn, I-N-N. As soon as you pass this corner and go down Cutpurse Road, it's almost like you enter a different world. I don't mean that literally, of course. You still hear city life, people talking and laughing and walking and selling and doing their usual stuff, but it's all suddenly becomes very distant. And Cutpurse Row itself is like deathly quiet. You don't see people around walking up and down and stuff. Even people coming down the Street of Shadows, whatever business they've got, it pretty much stops here, and you don't see anyone going along Cutpurse Row. A lot of this is the back of other buildings through here, and these buildings that are here in the middle look like at one time they were probably tenements, apartment buildings that are a few stories tall, but now they're run down. They're missing windows. They're missing doors. A few windows have been boarded over. The place is, I mean, it's just run down, quiet, almost eerily so. But the boy doesn't seem to notice at all. I mean, he's just kind of skipping along like he's having fun. And as he takes you all along and you cross this, he's going straight, but as you cross this path here, you can see down this sort of wide alleyway, there's another group of kids at the far end. It looks like they're playing something like a form of stickball or something like that. There's 6 of them, and a couple of them appear like they're about this young boy's age, about 8, but others look like they're older. Maybe even one of them's a young teen, 12, 13, 14, something like that. And as you guys walk past down here, they all just stop their game and stare in your direction for a second. And they're it's almost kind of like they're eyeballing you, like they're measuring you up. Like, are these guys really tough? Are they trouble? And then after about 10 seconds, they go back to their game, pretty much ignoring you. And the little boy comes down here to this wide open area, and he points to a door that's in one of the side of the rundown building. And the door is wide open, and it's barely hanging on its hinges. And it doesn't look like a main entrance to the building. It looks like it's sort of a side entrance. And he just points in there and says, "My teacher's in there. He said to send you."
Hmm.
And it is dark in there.
Magically dark, or
No, it doesn't appear to be.
Well, I just take out my lamp, hooded lamp, put it on my belt and light it and go in.
Okay. It appears like at some point it was probably some kind of storage room. There's even a few crates in here that they're old. They were, whatever was in them was busted. The crates were busted open and stolen long ago. There's cobwebs here and there. There's definitely grime and dirt all over the place. There is another doorway to your right. You see that is partially opened, and you can actually see a little bit of light through there. It looks like some kind of firelight through that doorway.
But
And you can
nothing
hear, and you
else.
you can hear a little bit of movement back in there. Someone shifting around on their feet like they're doing some kind of task. You even hear a little bit of a clank of metal on metal, but not like fighting or anything like that.
I look to my companions who are probably following behind me.
And the boy's just sort of standing outside. He's got his hands in his pockets. He's just sort of whistling, looking up in the sky, like sort of like he's waiting on you guys to come back, or waiting to see what happens next, or if he's wanted or anything.
Yeah, let's go in. We got to meet this guy, right?
Yes. I proceed to the room with the light in it.
Okay. As you push the door open, you find yourself in a kitchen. It's very run down, but there still does appear to be like a stove, an iron stove in the back. There is an old beat up, carved up table in the middle of the room. And there is a man there with his back to you. He's dressed in a long black, not black, but a dark gray coat. And his back is to you as you look through the door. And he's on the other side of the table. And he's at this big stove. And on top of the stove is like a big black iron cauldron, like you sort of a picture a witch using. And he's stirring something in there. And a smell comes to your nose as you go through the door, and it actually smells pretty good. It smells like some kind of herbs that's used for cooking or whatever. And without turning around, he says, "Please, gentlemen, come inside. If there are a few old stools around here, if you would like to have a seat." And then you see him. He still doesn't turn to face you, but he reaches up to a cupboard, opens a door which almost falls off its hinges, and he pulls out like some wooden bowls. And then he reaches into the cauldron, and there's like a big metal ladle, and he starts putting what looks like some kind of stew or soup or something into the bowl. And after he's done a few of those, he'll kind of half turn, and you can see he is an older man. He's probably 60, in his early 60s. So he's old, but he's not ancient. But he appears to be in very good health. I mean, he's about 6 foot tall. There's a little bit of wiry strength in him. He doesn't appear like ancient and frail at all. Would you like something to eat? Things have been a little thin around here lately, but I finally am getting the children some good food.
Seems like a strange place to set up, but I won't argue. I'm fairly hungry.
Okay. He'll get a wooden bowl with some stew in it and a wooden spoon and give it to you, and it's all very clean. You'll notice that his clothes actually very different than the children's. His clothes look very nice. They're not like royals' clothes. You know, there's not gold and stuff like that, but they are they do look very nice and fairly expensive, and they do stand out from this place. And he'll bring you a wooden mug, and he'll say, "I'm sorry, there's some light ale is all I've got at the moment until I can get more food and drink down here."
That's fine. I don't need any. You can save it for the children. They surely need as much as they can get. Look at the little scamps.
Are you advocating that children be drinking ale?
Isn't that normal?
I'm not advocating it. I'm doing it. I'm giving children ale. It's light, watered down ale, and it's generally safer to drink than most of the water sources are in this part of the city. At least it's been brewed.
I'm just testing Vex.
Oh,
It's fine.
Vex is pretty naive. In her eyes, she's like, "Oh yeah, give the kids ale. I mean, they're growing children. They need sustenance too."
I watch. He'll say, "I watch the children and make sure they do not overindulge."
All right, I just enjoy stew.
It's actually really good stew for something that's just homemade. And he'll say, "Well, as you might have guessed, well, I sent my student Jeremy to bring you here. I potentially have 2 tasks for you. I'm going to be working on one of them myself, while I have you do another one. But if I falter, then I may have to ask you guild members to step in and give me a hand. But what I would like of you is I have a certain property just outside of the city, south of the river. I purchased it some while back, and I'm planning on turning it into a safer and a little bit more of a proper school than what the children have here along Cutpurse Row. I think it would be better for them and the city if they were out there. And it's an old farmstead, but apparently there are some squatters there who've been living there for some little while. And I would like you to go take care of them for me."
You mean you want us to help fix it up for them, feed them a good meal? Like, how well do we need to take care of them? I mean, because we can't afford to just babysit them for years at a time.
No, I want you to make sure they vacate the property.
Oh, okay. That's completely different.
I have not been down there myself recently, and this is a matter I would handle myself, but I currently have something else that's taking up my time besides dealing with the children here. We're a little short on help at the moment. And I don't come to the city that often, just once every few years. But while I'm here, I'm trying to set things right. As far as dealing with these squatters, I leave it up to you to do what you think is best.
I'm sure they'll listen to reason.
Yes, but why don't you just send them up to the orphanage at the north side or side of the city?
Ah, this new orphanage. I've heard a little of it. While indeed these children, all the children under my care here, are orphans, the school they are involved with is rather unique for their age group, and I'm not sure it would be wise for my children or for the children at the orphanage for them to mingle together. There might be some misunderstandings, if nothing else.
Fair enough.
And I'm a rather private individual, and I would rather keep things to myself, so to speak.
Do you have any suggestions as where we should send these people?
No. I honestly don't care. As long as they're no longer on my rightful property, they can go wherever they wish.
Well, if they're looking for a place, Master Aylwin's always looking for new students. Maybe they'd be willing to work there.
Well, very well, whatever you think best. And as far as your fee for this, charge me whatever you think is a fair price. If for some reason I should think it's outlandish, I will say so, but you seem like fair individuals for the most part.
Okay. We'll just tell you what we think it's worth after we come back.
Oh no, that's understandable.
How
depending on the
much?
situation.
How much does the Adventurers Guild normally charge for this kind of work?
It depends on
range.
what the work turns into, from what I've heard.
Well,
I
obviously.
assume it'll be somewhere around 300 gold, but we'll see what happens.
Total or each?
Total.
Very well. Jeremy knows where the property is. I can have him show you the way, or I can draw out a map for you if you wish.
North side of the river?
South side of the river.
Then
If
yes,
I
I think his guidance would be necessary. I don't spend very much time on the south side of the city.
Jeremy will. If you go back outside, Jeremy is still standing there waiting. He's like, "I thought you might be coming back," and he'll head back. He's like, "Follow me, and I'll take you there." And he'll head back up the Street of Shadows and turn left on Regal Street. And if there's anything you guys want to do before leaving the city or anything, or while walking, just let me know. But basically,
Okay, I just bought a quiver of arrows.
okay, yeah, you can find one of those. Basically, he'll just take you west on Regal Street and across the bridge, and down, 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 down through some trees, and over to this building over here, which looks like it's a somewhat rundown farm house.
That's the east side of the city. The map's turned.
Well, that's the way the boy's taking you.
If you look at the legend at the top, it says north is on the right.
That's still the direction the boy's taking you.
Yeah.
Now, whether he took you to the right place or not, who knows? But that's where he's taking you.
Well, there's only one thing left to do. Are you all ready?
Yeah.
Of course.
The place looks deserted. It looks empty. And the boy's like, "Well, I guess I'll leave you guys to it. You know how to find your way back to my teacher?"
Yes. Yeah.
It's like, okay. And he'll go skipping off. And let's see. What's Dirk's? Oh, okay. Dirk, with your passive perception, you notice that when the boy skips away, he's moving a little faster than you think he would. It's not like he's running away like he's in a hurry, like he's scared. I mean, he's just running away like a kid. You know, kids run everywhere. But he's running faster than the average kid.
Kind of like how some people can move faster than others by they're just walking.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, he's not like the Flash here or anything like that, but he's definitely moving faster.
Strange.
Almost like he's got some kind of training or some innate skill or something that allows him to move a little faster than normal.
He's a
Nobody
mobile
teaches
monk.
them.
He could be a monk. He could be an 8-year-old monk.
No metagaming here. No, I'm kidding.
He could be an 8-year-old 12th level monk. You never know.
Wowza.
Cool.
Or he could just be fast on his feet. Who knows? He's a human. Maybe he took mobile at first level or something. All right.
So we found the place?
Yep, it pretty much looks like an abandoned farmhouse. Part of it looks like a big barn, but it's connected to the house. I mean, it's all one structure. And there is a fence sort of in the front area. It's kind of like if it were in the city, you would think, hey, this is a front yard. But out here, it looks more like it was probably an animal pen at some point in front of the structure. And the fence is old and worn down, bent over in places. I mean, there's a gate that's just hanging open. Occasionally the wind comes along and knocks it around a little bit. But yeah, you wouldn't even have to climb this fence. You could pretty much just walk into it and walk over it, knock it down.
I walk over to it and I knock it down.
Okay. Give me a Constitution roll. I'm just kidding.
Well, didn't think you would be one for just blatant property damage, but
Well, I just hear this voice in my head that's like, this fence, it's so out of shape that it's just easier to walk over it. So I just like give it this push to see how sturdy it is, and when I give it this push, it just falls over.
And the next thing, the voices in your head are saying, give Dirk all your money.
don't give me your money. I don't want it. Well, I'm sure the squatters know we're here now.
Since you've knocked the fence over, you will also have noticed that when you were in the city, it was kind of a bright, nice, sunshiny day. Now that you've come down here, it's gotten gray and overcast, looking yucky. There's a chill breeze in the air.
I say we make our way inside now.
Okay. I pull up my shield. I don't pull up my weapon. I just pull up my shield.
Okay. So you guys go in the front door.
Yeah.
And the front door is unlocked. It's barely there. It's so old and rickety. And you come into sort of a living area, and it's empty. There's no furniture in here. There are some cobwebs up around the ceiling. There's definitely some dust on the floor here and there. The place does not look like it's been cleaned or anything in a while. But again, there's no furniture. The place looks empty, at least in this front room.
Should we call out for them? Make sure they know we're here?
Why not? I don't plan on killing them.
Does this place have a basement?
From the outside, you would guess there is a basement in the house part of it.
I want to go in the basement.
Okay. From the outside, and at least in the one room you're in, you do not see an entrance to a basement, but you can look elsewhere in the house.
Yeah, I'm going to look.
Okay. You will find in what appears to be a kitchen area, again, no furniture, no furnishings. There is like a trap door in the floor with a big iron ring on it.
Gonna open it.
It appears to be locked, or something is holding it down from the other side. You don't see a lock like hole on this side, but maybe it's barred or something from the other side.
I'm gonna take my hammer and smash it.
Okay, give me a Athletics roll.
Do I get to add +1 because I'm using a magic hammer?
Yes.
Ooh. That was a 5.
Okay. You can do it. It's going to take you a little while, but this seems to be pretty tough wood. This place is old and run down, but apparently the lid on this trap door is relatively new and strong, sturdy oak.
Yeah.
And might even have some maybe metal backing on the bottom of it, possibly. But if you keep of it, you're going to check what?
I'm going to check the other rooms.
Okay. The same. You're not finding any people. You're not finding any furniture. There's dust on stuff, cobwebs.
Any signs that there might be an upstairs or?
Not an upstairs. There might be a small attic, possibly.
I'll look for a ceiling steps or something.
You don't find one in the house. You do know this: the barn part of the structure, which is connected, there will be a connecting door from the kitchen. That part is 2 stories tall. 2 stories tall, but it's a barn.
I'll go in there and I'll look around and see if anybody's in there. The barn.
No people. There is some bales of hay that are really old. Like they're so old they're like even greasy and stained black.
That's one way.
And there is an upper loft that looked like it could have been used at one time. There's no ladder in there though. But you can see from the ground floor on the upper loft, there is a small, not necessarily a doorway, but maybe like a hatch to a crawl space that would take you into what could be the attic of the house.
Sure, let's use that.
How are you going to get up? It's up in the loft. And there's no ladder.
You want me to give you a boost?
Sure.
Yeah,
that'd be useful.
Okay, I'll let you do it. Dirk gets up there. Yeah, there's this sort of... Again, it's not quite a door. It's more like a square opening that's about 3 feet tall. And there's just like a board in there. And meanwhile, the dwarf is downstairs banging away. I'm taking it at the wooden trapdoor lid. So what's Dirk going to do?
I'm just searching the attic.
Okay. When you push across this piece of wood and you go into the attic, or you're looking in there with your lamp, and you find 3 human skeletons in there.
Well,
One of them even looks... 2 of them look pretty old, but one of them looks fairly fresh. There's still some like pieces of dried flesh on the bone here and there. There's no clothes or any personal belongings.
Can I tell what killed them?
Yeah, give me a roll. Medicine would probably be most appropriate for you, but if you want to use something else, you can make that argument.
Oh, I got a 19 on medicine. That'll be fine.
Okay. They were chewed to death.
Is there a lot of cobwebs up here?
There's some. Yeah, there's some cobwebs up here. These would definitely be bigger than like spider bites. Since your roll was good enough and you're a medical professional, Yeah, these bites are probably humanoidish, you would guess. If you've ever seen a case of cannibalism or something similar, it kind of probably looks like this. Um, there's definitely gnaw marks on some of the bones.
Well, I fought ghouls before, and that's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, it would be something along the lines of that. And let's see. Harbeck, give me a perception roll.
$21.
With a 21. While you're hammering away, you finally get the head of your weapon to smash through the wood, and indeed there is you do find that there's an iron bar on the other side, which could account for what's been giving you trouble. But as it goes through and you're pulling your weapon back to hit again, just for a couple of seconds, there's quiet as your weapon rings out and that sound dies from your ears, and you think you hear a moaning sound downstairs in what would be the basement area.
Can I open the trapdoor now, or do I still have to keep smashing through?
You can yank it off. It's pretty much shattered at this point. You can pull the whole door off.
Okay, I'm going to pull the whole door off and then go out to the barn and tell them, there's something in the basement.
Yeah, I'll come out from the attic if there's anything else in there.
No, pretty much just those skeletons.
Yes. I feel like this is either a bad case of cannibalistic humans or we're dealing with some very basic undead.
Either way, that sounds unpleasant. Well, maybe we should continue taking a look around. Maybe our work's done for us and this place is already emptied out.
Well, we have to go into the basement next because there's something down there. I heard something.
You did see before you left the trapdoor hole. You did see there were some like old wooden steps that went down into darkness.
So I'm gonna go down into the basement.
Okay. Are all of you going back to that kitchen area where that was?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. As you're heading into the kitchen, I'm guessing Harbeck's in the front since he said he was there. Or he's the first one who said he was going. You see sort of shambling its way up those steps into the kitchen. Looks like a human figure. But the clothes on it are barely there. They're old, stained, tattered. The flesh is gray and almost like drooping on the body. And its back's to you for the moment, but it's slowly starting to turn around.
Is it malnourished or actually undead?
You would probably guess undead.
Okay. I'm going to smack it with my hammer.
If you want, but
let's do initiatives real quick. Let's see.
Oh, that's a good roll. That's a good one.
Is that a good one? Oh, yeah.
Fucking amazing.
Well, I'm glad Dirk's so fast.
So fast.
Yep. Harbeck, you get to go first.
Smacking it with my hammer.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Oh, this look is going to bite me in the ass later. I got a a 24 to hit.
Oh, that definitely hits.
Yeah, I rolled 3 18s in a row. So that is 10 points of magical bludgeoning.
10 points?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You hit him like upside the head, and his head like literally spins around in its neck so that the face is now facing backwards. And it's go. And it's turning around to try to sort of claw at you with its hands, but it's having a hard time at it because its head is facing backwards now. And what's your armor class?
18.
And it will miss. And you can hear, since you're pretty much standing over the pit, you can hear more movement and more moaning sounds coming from down below in the basement. And they seem to be getting louder. And there's thumpings like something else is coming up the stairs. And it would now be Vex's turn.
We don't have much time.
Okay, so I'm fairly certain that this thing is, not alive and just bad news bears. So I will actually cast a flaming sphere upon it.
Okay.
Ooh.
And so that's... What's that?
The wood is made of the floor is made of wood, right?
Yes, the whole building's pretty much made of wood. But he cast Flaming Sphere.
To be fair, if this place goes down in flames, it would probably be easier on them to rebuild this place.
So, yeah, Vex is kind of naive and not really super high intelligence. But, all this time, Vex has felt like she's been holding back and like, there's these people and I can't really unleash my full force on them. And then all of a sudden she sees this undead creature and it's like almost more out of reflex or, being frightened that she reacts without thinking and casts this flaming sphere. So this 5-foot diameter sphere just appears and next to the creature, and then as a bonus action, I use it to ram into the creature.
Okay.
Kind of blocking the stairway.
Oh, okay. It like rolls over the hole in the ground.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'll need a dex save.
It got a 3.
Okay, so that'll be 2d6 fire damage, which is, max damage. Excellent. So 12 fire damage.
Okay. Let me see. This thing catches on fire big time, and it sort of starts hissing and screaming, and it falls back down into the hole, into the basement. So there's all kinds of fire going on. It looks like down in there, at least at the entrance, but you're not sure it's catching yet. You hear more kind of moaning and hissing sounds from below. And now it would be Dirk's turn.
And since I could move the sphere like 30 feet, I guess I would have like rammed it into the creature and then kind of like lodged it in the hole.
Okay, yeah, it's 5 foot wide. It's definitely big enough to like block the hole.
Okay. And then I'll kind of in a bit of a panic kind of shriek, I'll go, ah! And just move back a little bit.
Okay. What does Dirk want to do?
I'm just kind of looking at this flaming sphere blocking the only way down there, and I'm like, well, pull up my short bow, and I go walk beside Vex, and I say, calm down. It's just ghouls. And potentially a fire on our hands. But we have an easy escape route through the barn. Don't panic.
Yeah, or the front door.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have my short bow, and I'm gonna shoot anything that manages to get out of the out past the flaming sphere. But I'm gonna hold my attack action.
Okay. Harbeck, it's your turn. You're right next to a flaming sphere.
I'm gonna hold my attack action until I can actually see something to hit.
Okay. It would be the bad guys' turns again, and I'm taking it anytime something moves into this, they've got to make a dex save.
Let's see. Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet, or let's see. It also looks like if they move through it, because like if it crashes into them or whatnot.
Okay, well, Harbeck can definitely see from below. There is a humanoid-shaped figure trying to make its way through this. He would guess it's not the same one that just fell down in there, because this one, what he can see of its burning, flaming head is facing forwards.
Can I whack-a-mole him?
Yeah, you can go ahead and hit him. Let me see.
Oh, that hit him
Okay.
for 6.
And since Dirk was holding his action, if he wants to shoot at this guy, you can like see the top of his head. He'll have partial cover.
I'll wait until he comes out.
Okay. So Dan, if he's going through this, he does need to make a dex save, or he automatically takes damage.
I believe it would be a dex save.
Okay. Which he does not make with a natural 1.
That would be
boy.
8 fire.
Okay. He does make it to the top, but there doesn't look like there's much of him left. He pretty much seems to be bones at this point that are up in flames. And yeah, he's up standing next to Harbeck at the moment. If Dirk wants to take his held action now, he can.
Doing it. Yeah, that's definitely going to hit 20 plus.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Is it viable for sneak attack because he's beside Harbeck?
Yes.
8, 11, 14, 15. Magic piercing.
Okay. You hit this guy like right through the skull. I mean, the arrow goes in one side and it comes out the other. And you're like, why is he not dropping? Because he kind of staggers from the blow. And you're like, that should have killed just about anything. But he's still standing there. And now it would be... You guys still hear more movement down below. And now it would be Vex's regular turn.
All right, so on my turn, I will... So there's one that's up above on the same platform as us?
Yes. And he
All right,
looks in really bad shape.
I will Eldritch Blast that one.
Okay.
And let's see, that would be a natural 1, so that's going to miss.
Okay.
And then I will move the sphere down the rest of the way of the pit.
Oh, okay.
So down to the bottom of the pit. I don't know how far a drop was that.
Well, there were stairs. It's probably about 10 feet.
All right, so there's still movement left. Did it crash into anything along the way?
Figures trying to make their way up the stairs.
All right, so when it hits the first figure, it would stop, and I'd need a dex save.
Okay. It does not make it.
All right, so let's see. That would be another 5 fire damage on that one.
Okay.
And then its movement is done because it hits something.
Okay.
I'm done.
All right. Now it would be Dirk's regular move.
It didn't go down after getting hit by my arrow. Huh.
I mean, the arrow's like still sticking in its head.
I'm going to try splashing it with some holy water.
Okay. Roll to hit then.
9.
That will actually hit. Just barely.
Holy. For 9 points of radiant damage.
Okay. It splashes on it and it sizzles. You're not sure if it's because of the radiant damage or it's because the water may have hit some of the fire. But yeah, this burning skeletal thing with your arrow in its head, it like crumbles apart to the ground at Harbeck's feet.
Well, if there was any doubt before, now it's definitely guaranteed. These are undead.
And you can see still about 5 feet down the steps, there's another flaming figure trying to make its way up. Do you have a bonus action or anything?
I guess I could move to like take cover kind of behind the wall and hide. Use my bonus action to hide.
Okay. You don't even need to make a stealth roll. And now it'd be top of the round. It would be Harbeck's turn again.
I'm gonna go. Are the stairs on fire?
Not really. No, there's a few little flickers here and there of flame on the stairs, but it doesn't seem to be like it's going up in flames, or at least not yet.
I'm gonna go downstairs.
You can't go far because there's a giant ball of fire there. You can go
Then
down.
I mean,
You can go down.
technically he could move through it. It just wouldn't feel very good.
Well, yeah.
I'm just gonna stand at the top of the stairs and ready to whack something as soon as.
Well, there is a thing that's about 5 feet down. Technically, that would be within your reach.
Okay. I'm gonna whack that thing.
Okay.
I rolled an 8.
That will hit.
Uh, 7 points of magical bludgeoning.
Okay. You crack it in the top of its head, and its skull like cracks open, but it's still trying to make its way through the flames so far. And now it would be its turn, and it's trying to leave the flames, so I'm thinking it would have to make another dex roll. As it's trying to climb the steps. And it does not make it.
8 fire.
Okay.
I hate to point out the obvious, but this flaming sphere is balling so far.
It's bowling for undead.
It does make its way to the top, and it pretty much looks like the last one did. There's no clothes, they're gone. The flesh is pretty much all gone. It's basically just a burning skeleton standing at the top of the stairs. And it seems to be barely there. And everybody give me perception rolls.
That's fair.
Now it's time for rolling crappy. I got a 6.
12.
What'd you get, Dan?
16.
Okay. You guys still hear movement and hissing and moaning from down below. It sounds like there's a good number more of these things down in there. You would guess. You would guess at least a half dozen more down in there. Maybe more than that even. But it would now be Vex's turn anyway.
All right, you said there's one that has moved beyond the flaming sphere?
Yes, he's at the top of the stairs, pretty much next to the dwarf.
All right, I'll try to Eldritch Blast that one.
Okay.
That'll be a crit. Wow. I went from nat 1 to a crit. So let's see, that'll be 2 plus another 2, so 4 force damage. And then if he's still up, 10 feet of knockback.
Okay. No, pretty much your Eldritch Blast hits him and he like explodes like in bone fragments.
All right, so I'll move over in that direction and kind of looking down the stairs, I'll try to move the sphere further down unless it hits something before it hits the basement floor.
It'll move about 2 more feet and then, yeah, it hits another one of these things.
Okay, so I guess dex save for that one.
That time it made it.
Okay, so it'll take let's see, half as much on a success, so half a 7, so 3 fire damage.
Okay.
And that'll be the end of my turn.
Dirk, it's now your turn.
All right, so they're not making it up the stairs anymore.
They
We're
do
kinda
not.
pushing them back.
Yeah, you're kind of holding them down.
I'm gonna go stand beside Harbeck.
Okay.
Do I see anything down the steps?
No, the ball of fire pretty much fills up the whole near the bottom of the steps now. I mean, there's definitely light, so you can see the steps well.
On the bright side, there's 20 feet bright light and another 20 feet dim light.
Yeah, but because of the floor, you really can't see like back into the basement. You can tell that it looks like there's 2 or 3 more figures at the bottom trying to work their way through this fire.
Okay. And the basement walls, are they made of like stone, or are they made of wood too?
They're earth. They seem to be hard packed earth. Well, you can see there's some beams here and there, like holding the floor up and stuff.
Is Vexed in a position that she can see these pillars, or?
I imagine Vex probably shot the one and then moved up towards the top of the stairs so she could kind of see where the sphere was moving down. But
you can see the pillars, but the pillars are in the dirt. I mean, they're in the wall. They're not freestanding, but you can see them.
No, I was just thinking, like, if they burned down, I'm pretty sure these floors wouldn't hold us.
Probably not.
well, if you have an idea, let me know. Otherwise, we can just kind of press forward.
From what you can see so far, though, everything's not like bursting into flames all of a sudden. I mean, there's a few little licks of fire here and there in the steps, but you wouldn't even take damage if, I mean, you could probably stomp it out with your foot. So far.
Well, yeah, I'll use my movement to stand on them. Would it be an action to kind of put them out, or just a bonus?
I'll let you
at this point?
be part of your movement. I mean, you're just like stamping your feet a couple of times.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna use my reaction to tell Vex, don't burn down the house.
Burning down the house.
I'll take a shot at one of these zombies.
There's one like 6 feet away, really just outside of your. I mean, if you took a step, I mean, there's one literally standing in the middle of this ball of fire trying to work its way through.
Yep. I got a. I'm just gonna say 14.
That'll hit.
Do much math.
What are you doing? Shooting him with your bow?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna roll 1. Of course, I say roll 1, and then I did roll 1. 1, 5 piercing, magical.
Okay. Your arrow definitely hit him.
Well, once I see that, I'm gonna use what little remains of my movement to get the hell off the stairs, because I don't want to be there.
Yeah, because he would get to you very soon.
Yep. Get him, Harbeck.
Okay, top of the round, Harbeck, it's your turn. There's a thing making its way through the fire with an arrow in it. It's about 6 feet down.
Hold my action until it gets out of the fire.
Okay. It's the bad guy's turn. It will shuffle its way up. You can hit it now if you want to.
18.
That'll hit.
10 points.
Okay, you hit it, and it crumbles and breaks apart and falls back in there. Another one of them is trying to make it through the fire, and it made its dexterity roll.
Okay, so that will be half of 7 again, so 3 damage.
Okay. And Dirk, where did you go in the kitchen when you backed out of the steps?
Probably beside Vex. Like, I wouldn't
Okay.
go back to the spot I was standing before beside Harbeck. I would probably just climb up the side.
Okay, you take no damage because does Dirk have on like leather armor or something or studded leather?
Yeah, I'm wearing studded leather.
Okay, your studded leather saves the day. You don't take any damage, but suddenly you are struck twice. excuse me, from behind.
Ow! Turn the fuck around. Ow!
There is another humanoid standing there in studded leather armor. It's very obviously undead. It's white face, red, almost glowing eyes. It's holding a long sword in each hand. And it's kind of growling at you and it says, "Good, fresh meat."
That's a no.
And now it's Vex's turn. And Vex, it's right there next to you too, since it hit Dirk.
Alright, so you said it's within 5 feet of me?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a dangerous place for me. Let's see. I will tell you what. I will try to Eldritch Blast it with disadvantage.
Okay.
So let's see. Disadvantage. That is going to be a 14 to hit.
That will just hit.
Excellent. And that'll be 8 force damage and 10 feet of knockback.
Okay. I forget. Does he get a save on that, or is it
It's automatic.
Okay.
I took the invocation, so I have the one that does 10 feet of knockback, or I also have the one that does 10 feet of pull.
Okay. Oh, okay. So he gets knocked back 10 feet. Basically, he goes through a doorway into the entrance rooms or the living room where you guys originally came in at.
And I'll shriek again. I'll move my flaming sphere down until it hits something. If it doesn't hit anything, then I'll, I guess, move it into the basement further.
The one guy was in the middle of it, so would he need to make another dex save?
No, I think he's probably fine.
Okay.
Because I'm moving out of him, not into him.
Yeah, there's another one right behind him though, so it's going to hit that, and it does not make its dex save.
And that's 5 fire damage total.
Okay.
And then I'll kind of shriek, "They're everywhere!" And kind of move back away from the one that I pushed back with the force with the Eldritch Blast just as far as I can. I don't know if there's much room to move, but
yeah, you can move towards the exit to the barn.
All right, so I'll move in that direction, like 15 feet, I guess.
Okay, and now Dirk, it's your turn.
So she blasting 15 feet away from me.
10 feet back. Yeah, roughly 15 feet. He just looks mad now.
I'm gonna move 10 feet away from him.
Okay.
Towards the barn door as well.
Okay.
And I'm going to shoot.
If you do that, I will point out he will be out of your line of sight because he's in another room now.
Okay, I will take my shot first then, and then I will move.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Almost dropped that dice on the floor. And wasn't worth it. Should just let it fall. Probably not gonna hit, but that's 3, 6, 8, and 11.
No, that's not going to hit him. It bounces off of his studded leather armor.
I'm gonna move 10 feet away towards the barn door.
So you're over by Vexed again. And Harbeck, it's now your turn.
How close am I to? So there's a creature behind in the ball of fire, and then there's another creature out of the ball of fire.
There's a creature in the middle of the ball of fire getting ready to make his way through it. Then there's another creature behind him who just entered the ball of fire. And then there was a guy upstairs that Vex and Dirk were fighting, but now he's in another room.
I'm gonna drop my hammer, but it has a leather strap, so it's on my wrist, so it's just gonna hang.
Okay.
And I'm gonna blast that guy with guiding bolt.
Okay. Give me a roll to hit.
Ooh, nope. I got a 9. I got a 7.
Okay. So you're kind of like the Emperor at the end of Return of the Jedi. You're throwing lightning all over the place, except at your target. Sort of. Not exactly. That would be Witch Bolt.
Yeah. Almost.
Any bonus action?
No.
Okay. Now it's his turn. And he's going to smile with pointed teeth that are full of little pieces of flesh. And he's going to say, more fresh meat. And he's going to walk up to Harbeck and try to hit him twice, once with each longsword. And he's going to miss both times. And now down below, the one guy's trying to make his way out of the fire thing. He did not make his save.
Okay, let's see. He'll take half a 7, so 3.
He didn't make his save.
Oh, then all of 7.
All of 7. And the next guy behind him is basically moving through the fire. He did make his save. Which...
I'm not going to re-roll it if you don't want me to. I'll just do 3.
That's fine. He'll take 3. Or I can roll him if you'd rather. It doesn't matter to me. But the one is in real bad shape, and he's pretty much at the top of the stairs now. Kind of behind Harbeck, or next to Harbeck. And now it's Vex's turn again.
All right, seeing the one kind of come up behind Harbeck, I'm thinking I need to protect him. I'm like, oh no, they're surrounding him. So I try to Eldritch Blast it. And let's see, that's 23 a hit.
Oh, that hits.
For 7 force damage.
Okay.
And if he's still up, I'll actually...
He is still up.
I'll actually pull him 10 feet towards me.
Okay. If you do that, he will fall back down into the hole into the basement.
Okay, sure. I'll let that happen then.
Okay.
Unexpected, but pretty cool.
All right. I need to roll how much damage he takes. And okay, he disappears down into the fire in the hole, and you hear a crunching sound down in there. And as soon as that happens, it's not an explosion, but there is kind of a whoosh of flame from below. Mm-hmm. And you do see that now does look like it's starting to catch fire down below.
Okay. I think I'm just going to call that a turn, because at this point, I don't think I can really see exactly where my flaming sphere is, so I'm not sure how accurately I could move it.
Okay.
Or you can dispel it.
I could drop concentration, but I don't know that that's what I would do just yet. I feel like it's kind of protecting us still.
Maybe. Dirk?
That might not be good logic, but I think that's what my character would think.
Ooh.
Dirk, it'd be your turn now.
Yeah. So the flames are visible from our floor, or?
You can see where the hole is in the floor, and you can see flames are starting to flicker up out of it now.
All right. I'm going to switch to my short sword. And I'm going to run to the steps, and I'm going to see what kind of damage is going on down there.
It's not what you would call fully engulfed yet. There is a creature trying to make its way through the fire still. But where this burning sphere is, it's almost hard to see the sphere now because there's kind of fire. The steps are starting to catch on fire towards the bottom, and some of the pillars on the side are starting to catch on fire. But still, it's not what I would call fully engulfed. But it probably will be soon unless somebody does something about it.
Probably some smoke too, I imagine.
Yeah, there is starting to be smoke rolling out of there.
Okay, I'm going to take off the majority of my cloak. The only thing that will be remaining of it is my little face mask, but the hood and the cloak part of it will be off.
Yeah.
I'm going to sheath my sword because I don't need it. As a bonus action, I'm going to disengage. I'm going to try to squeeze into the basement.
Okay, you can just walk down the basement steps, but they are on fire.
I don't know if there's anyone alive, so.
Oh.
So I'm going to
anyone alive? Okay. The bottom of the basement step still has a big ball of fire in front of it. But you can go down about 5 steps without too much trouble if you're trying to look.
Yeah.
Give me a perception roll.
Sure.
Or investigation if you want.
Perception, I think, is my stronger of the two.
Okay.
Yep. 24 total.
Oh, yeah. You can kind of go down about 5 steps and bend down a little bit and look. The basement looks like a hallway or a tunnel that goes straight back towards the barn. It's about 8 foot tall down there. And the ceiling is wood, at least in this part of it. And yeah, there's a whole line of these things. You'd say there's at least still a half dozen of them trying to make their way towards you and the fire.
And so basically it's just the ceiling or the floor that's on fire.
The ceiling is not yet on fire. The bottom of the steps and some of the wood along the side is on fire. But the ceiling's not yet, burning.
Okay, I will try to put the stuff off the steps on fire. Try to get rid of that fire first with my cloak.
Give me a dexterity roll. I'll listen to arguments for another type of roll if you'd rather do that.
I don't need any other arguments roll than that 20. What?
Okay. You're flapping your cloak and the fire's starting to go out at the bottom of the steps and a little bit in the sides.
All right. After that, I'll use probably what little movement I have left to climb back out and get out of the way of the hammer-wielding dwarf.
Okay.
Harbeck,
it's your turn.
I'm gonna yell at Vex to get rid of the ball of fire now. And I'm gonna take a... Is there...
So what it's worth, you probably can't see the fire that's going on that well down there if you're in the other room fighting the other guy.
He came to me.
Yeah, the guy came to him. So Harbeck's probably standing in the doorway and the guy came up to him.
I never left the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I have the bus guy on me, and I also have a shambling on me as well.
Probably soon. Yes. You don't have one. You don't have one of the shambling things behind you at the moment. Okay. But if the thing down there, if the fire doesn't take it out, it probably will be to you on its next turn.
Okay. Then I'm going to take a swing at the guy instead of leather.
Okay.
12.
That will miss. Do you have a bonus action you want to take or anything?
I may have a bonus action. Just gotta check something. No, I don't have a bonus action.
Okay. Now it will be their turns. And The guy in studded leather armor is going to swing his long swords twice more at Harbeck. And I'm thinking a 22 is probably going to hit.
Yep.
But the other one will miss. He does 3 whole points of damage to you. And behind you, one of the shambling things is going to try to make its way through the fire. Let's see. It does not.
So that's 11 fire damage.
Yeah, it burns away before it can even get up the stairs. And now it will be Vex's turn again.
All right, I'll start by trying to Eldritch Blast the big bad.
Okay,
That is a 17 to hit
that will hit.
for 6 force damage and 10 feet of knockback.
Okay, so you knock him back into the other room again.
And then I'll kind of move back towards the top of the stairs, look down, and I will move the fire further into the room, the basement.
Okay, it goes about 2 more steps or 2 more feet, and then hits another one of these things,
Okay.
which does make its savings throw.
All right, and that'll be 9, so half of that'll be 4 damage.
Okay.
And kind of seeing what's going on, I feel like I need to keep the fire moving because I feel like if it stays in one spot for too long, it might start burning things.
That's kind of what's been happening.
And so I try to keep it moving and pass turn.
Okay. Dirk, it's your turn now.
Pull out my short bow. I'm gonna shoot at the guy. Kind of just drop my cloak on the floor.
Okay. Roll to hit.
11, 13, 16.
That will hit. This is your magical short bow, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. You hit him.
4, 8 piercing, magical.
Okay. It hits him.
That's my turn.
All right. Harbeck, it's your turn again. This guy's 10 feet away from you now.
I want to another guiding bolt on him.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah. Now I rolled 8.
Yeah, that will miss him. And now it's going to be the bad guy's turn. He's going to run up and try to hit Harbeck twice more with long swords. And both of those will miss because he can't roll higher than a 5. And down below, one of the guys is trying to make his way up through the fire. Oh, he made his save again.
Such a Dexy zombie. Let's see. Wow, that was a total of 11, so half of that'll be 5.
Okay. He makes it to the top of the steps. And Vex, he's going to try to claw at you.
Shouldn't be too hard.
It's not, especially when he rolls in that 20. So he does 8 points of damage to you.
All right, just a second. Let me do a concentration check.
Don't fail, don't fail, don't fail, don't fail.
I think Harbeck wants me to fail.
You're lighting the house on fire.
I succeed with an 18.
Okay. You could always leave the house while it's on fire, but
Probably
okay.
doing the guy
Well,
a favor.
He said he didn't care how we evacuated them, so, that's one way to do it.
Yes, but we could also let them out of the basement and I can turn them.
Well, then maybe you should be turning them anyhow, and then we wouldn't need the fire. Just a thought.
Yeah, but in the basement, there's nowhere for them to go.
Yeah.
Well, they can run to the walls, like the furthest point they can move,
Well, yeah.
and then they just kind of sit there.
Yes,
And
but
it's-
that doesn't make them leave.
No, and it's now Vex's turn anyway.
All right, so there's one adjacent to me. I'm going to try to Eldritch Blast with disadvantage.
Okay.
Disadvantage, that's a 2 on the die, so an 8 to hit.
That will hit.
So that
Majestic.
fell off the table. So that's 4 force damage and 10 feet of knockback.
Okay. You hit him and a piece of flesh falls off his shoulder and it knocks him back 10 feet into the wall.
So I would have assumed that it probably would have shot him back down the stairs because he came up the stairs to get to me.
Oh, well,
I
if
was
you
at
want
the
to,
top.
I'll let you do that. Yeah, you can knock him back down the stairs. In fact, if you knocked him back 10 feet, he went into the fire again.
I am strangely okay with that.
Okay, and he did not make his roll that time, his dex roll that time.
That would be potentially 7 damage.
Okay, he lands in his back, but seems to be crawling. Seems to still be mobile. Let me put it that way.
All right, and I'll try to move the fire a little bit further down, which I imagine it probably immediately stops because it hits something.
It hits another one of them, which does not make its roll.
Okay, and that's 8 fire damage.
Okay, and for a moment there, after Dirk had done his fancy work with his cloak, the smoke had kind of died down, but now it's, when you threw that guy down in there, there was kind of like a flash of sparks went up, and now suddenly more smoke is starting to come out from down below. And now it would be Dirk's turn again.
Not mad. Not mad. I'm just gonna shoot the baddie. Did that guiding bolt hit?
No.
Is he adjacent to me?
Yes.
Does he move back to us? All right, I'm going to disengage, move away 20 feet across the room.
Okay.
And I'm going to shoot at him. 12, 15, 18.
Oh, you hit. And he is adjacent to, or next to Harbeck.
Come on. I might as well just roll one dice. I got 4, 8 magical piercing.
8 total?
Yeah, I rolled a 2 and a 2 and a 2 ones.
Oh, yeah, I hate when that happens. Okay. Now it's back to Harbeck.
This guy's tough.
He's actually not that tough.
I am going to go over to Vex and right in her face, and I'm going to tell her, "Stop burning the house down. Put
You're not
it
the
out."
police to me.
Police.
Meanwhile, the big bad guy that's in the studded leather is like, okay, guys, are we doing this or what?
And
He's like, you walked away from me. Opportunity attack.
Vex wouldn't be that far away. I'm not going to give it to him just yet.
yeah. Gonna go back and take a swing at the guy.
Okay.
13.
That will miss, just barely. Anything else? Bonus action or anything?
I don't have a bonus action.
All right. Well, it's his turn. He's going to try to hit Harbeck twice more, and he will miss twice more. Gosh, his rolls suck. And down below, another zombie is going to try to make its way through the fire. Does not make its savings throw.
There's a
All right,
small
let's
piece
see.
of me that's just hoping this fire happens already.
11 fire damage. Seems to be burning pretty hot.
Yes. And actually, the one that you knocked down there, he tries to stand up, but then he just crumbles apart. The fire eats him up. And now it would be Vex's turn again.
All right, I'll start by trying to Eldritch Blast the one that the other two are fighting.
Okay.
Crit. So
Ooh.
nat 20. I'll do 10 feet of knockback and looks like 9 force damage.
Okay. You knock him back into the other room. That's for sure.
And then I'll try to move my fire further down the stairs again till it meets resistance.
It goes about another 2 foot and hits another zombie, which does not make it save.
And let's see, a 6 and a 1, so 7 fire damage.
Okay. And now it would be Dirk's turn.
Shoot the guy who just got knocked into the other room. I rolled a natural 16 with +9 is 25.
That'll hit him.
For another 8 piercing.
Your arrow enters his chest right where his heart is. He drops his sword and clutches at his chest and goes, "Oh, you got me." And then he falls dead.
References.
And now, to save a little time, I'm going to take us out of rounds unless you guys want to just... Well, I don't know. It depends on what you do.
No, just keep letting the flaming sphere do its thing. I put my short bow back on. I'm probably just trying to put out the flames.
Yeah, you grab a stick and you're toasting marshmallows.
Yeah.
You pick your cloak back up from the ground. Give me another dex roll or athletics roll even. Or acrobatics roll, I guess. Whatever.
Well, with acrobatics...
Roll to hit with your cloak.
Oh, roll to hit with my cloak. Acrobatics, damn it.
and it's a... You can use dex.
Okay, well, if I'm just making a straight dex tech, I only got 5.
Okay. Yeah, you're having less luck this time putting the flames out. And the flames are starting to... There's more smoke coming out now than ever before. Let me put it that way.
Maybe we can try moving it back for a little bit and then forth. Move the temperature around so it doesn't...
I'm like,
stay on
oh,
the
that
space.
seems like a good idea. So I guess I'll move aside a little bit. I can move it 30 feet with a bonus action.
Yeah.
So I'll
Yeah,
pull it all the way back up the stairs.
Wait for me to get out!
I'm like, hey, move out of the way. I'm going to bring it back up.
Climb out.
Okay, you can... I'm kind of taking us out of rounds, but yeah, you can bring it back up.
As he pulls it back up, I'm going to go in front of it and go down there and start smacking zombies.
Okay. Well, then I guess we'll keep initiative. We'll just say it's Harbeck's turn.
As I see you move in front of it, I'm like, watch out. I'm going to send it back down.
Team dynamics.
So are you still going down, Harbeck?
Yeah, 11 to hit.
Okay, that'll hit.
10.
Okay. All right, you hit it a good hard hit. Knock its head to the side, but for a second it looks like it's going to go down, but then it sort of stands back up straight like it's there. We're still going to keep the same initiative, so it would be their turn, and that one's going to try to take a swipe at you and will miss. And the tunnel's about 10 feet wide, so that's enough room for one of its buddies to step up next to it and try to swing at you. And will a 20 hit?
Yep.
Okay, you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage. And these two zombies that are right in front of you and swinging at you, they're in pretty bad shape. But you see that they've got 3 more buddies behind them that seem to be really fresh. And now it's Vex's turn.
Seeing as I have no option with my flaming sphere other than to hit Harbeck,
Yeah.
and not being a violent person by nature, I drop concentration on my spell.
Okay.
Oh, you shouldn't have done that.
I know.
I'm.
I feel frustrated at the situation, but I feel like I have no other option but to do so. And I try to shoot one of the zombies that's next to him with Eldritch Blast.
Okay. I'll just warn you now. You can see the 2 zombies he's fighting because it's right at the bottom of the stairs,
Yep.
but you cannot see the other ones.
All right. Yep. So I try to shoot one that he's fighting. That is a 25 to hit
That'll hit.
for 4 points of force.
Okay.
And if it doesn't fall him, I will pull it 10 feet up the stairs.
That knocks it down.
Okay. I'm done.
And now it's Dirk's turn.
I'll go stand behind Harbeck, and I'm going to shoot the other one that's wounded.
Okay, so you're going down the steps a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, you can see the other 3 fresh zombies back behind that one, but okay. Roll to hit.
I rolled a natural 8.
Oh, that'll hit. And you get your sneak attack because it's there with Harbeck.
Been decent. Oh, average. Like straight up average. 9, 13?
9 total.
13 total.
Okay, let me make a roll. Again, you hit this thing like between the eyes, and you're like, it should have gone down, but it doesn't. Its head kind of snaps back, and it looks like it's going to fall, and then it kind of rolls back forward on its feet, like it's still up. And
I needed to bring more holy water.
top of the round, it's Harbeck's turn again.
Yeah.
There's 1 zombie in front of you.
And there's a
3
couple.
3 more behind it.
Yeah. I'm going to let go of my hammer and let it swing. And I'm going to grab my holy symbol. And I yell, "Run!" I turn undead.
Okay. What's the roll they got to beat?
DC 13, because it uses my spell DC, doesn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
With some saving throw, if it fails to save, it's turned for 1 minute until it takes damage.
The one that's in front of you, that's got an arrow between its eyes, it stands its ground. It's not going anywhere. But the other 3 in the back turn and start shuffling away and like are trying to claw their ways through the dirt wall that's back there. You have anything else you want to do?
No, that's it.
Well, it's their turn, and the 3 in the back are still trying to find another way out of the basement. The one that's in front of you is going to take a swing at you, and he will miss, and now it's Vex's turn again.
All right. I hear him yell, "Run." I want to do an insight to figure out if he's talking to us or talking to the zombies. Because, I mean, I myself as a player, I'm not sure. So I'm sure that my character isn't sure. So I guess a high insight means I know what he means. I don't know what the DC would be. Looks like I rolled a natural 1. So my insight is a 3. So I clearly don't know what he means, which puts me in the same position that I'm here in right now anyhow. So I turn and I look at let's see. I kind of
Dirk.
turn and I look towards Dirk, and I
Dirk?
kind of shrug.
Do you
Dirk's-
speak Celestial?
I do, but he didn't
Okay.
say anything. So I kind of turn and I look towards Dirk. I shrug my shoulders and I start running towards the exit of the building.
Okay. Dirk, since you're down the steps and behind Harbeck, yeah, it looks like the Asimar's giving up on you guys. And it's your turn now.
Why does this have to be this way? I'm gonna take a shot at the zombie that's still standing.
Okay.
11.
That will hit.
Here you go. Survive this one, asshole. 11, 15, 19 magical piercing.
19 magical piercing damage. Wow. Okay. Yeah. His like head explodes and he crumbles to the ground. And
I'm gonna run after Vex.
okay. I'm just going to take us out of rounds. There's 3 more zombies.
Me and you.
For the next minute, there's 3 zombies in the basement trying to find a way out of the basement.
Yeah. And for the next minute, I'm trying to put out the fire.
Yeah, you can put out the fire.
Well, he said run, and it wasn't clear.
Yeah, he's not very good at his ideas and thoughts.
Okay. And after a minute, the fire is put out. The zombies have been trying to claw their way out of the room and have had no luck because the thing that frightened them, for lack of better words, is between them and the one exit. So a minute's passed, and we're back in now rounds again. Harbeck, you're downstairs with 3 zombies. But you put the fire out.
Yeah. Did they ever come back?
I imagine we did. At least I do. After I tell Vex to come back.
I mean, he comes back, he explains the situation, I follow him back. I'm not, like, afraid, I'm more just confused.
Yeah. So, do I have a chance to cast a spell before they lose their turn?
Before they lose their turn?
No, before they lose the turn undead.
Yeah, you can get a spell off.
Okay. Cure wounds myself, which was not a very good roll.
Okay.
Okay, but when they regain their senses, I'm just gonna smack one of them with the hammer.
Okay.
Which I got a 22.
That'll hit.
For 5 points of damage.
Okay. You've hit him. Now it's their turn. And the 3 of them are going to try to mob you, basically. Miss. Will an 18 hit you?
Yeah.
Okay.
My armor class 18, so he just managed to clear it.
You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
That was a very good hit.
And now it's Vex's turn.
Okay, so I had came back, and I see this going on. The one that hit him, I'll try to Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Let's see, that's a 16 to hit for 3 force damage and
Okay.
10 feet of knockback.
Okay. That one gets knocked back 10 feet from Harbeck.
And that's all I got.
Dirk, it's your turn.
Take another shot. Gonna hit the one that's beside Harbeck
Okay.
for the natural 18.
That will hit.
10.
Okay. You hit him. Harbeck, it's your turn again.
Natural 1.
Okay. It's their turn, and the one that got knocked back 10 feet is going to shuffle his way forward, and the three are going to try to hit Harbeck again. Miss, and a hit for 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm looking really bad.
And now it's Vex's turn again.
All right. Well, I got one spell slot left, so I guess I will move up and cure wounds Harbeck. So let's see, that'll be 15 hit points.
That's pretty good.
And
Almost back at full.
Damn.
I'm out of spell slots. Assuming I'm not adjacent to an enemy, I'll move right back to where I was.
You can do that. And Dirk.
Take another shot at the one I shot. The natural 18.
That's damage.
8, 12, magical piercing.
Okay. He's still standing. Harbeck, it's your turn again.
24 to hit.
That hits.
For 12 points of magical bludgeoning.
Okay. He's still standing, but in bad shape. Now it's their turn. And since you're up front, all three are going to paw at you again. Miss. Now it's Vex's turn.
All right, I will try to Eldritch Blast one that looks damaged. That should hit. It's over 20 for 8 force damage and 10 feet of knockback.
Okay. You hit him and he just crumbles apart into bones.
Woohoo! I'm done.
And the bones get like thrown 10 feet back through the air.
Perfect.
Now it's Dirk's turn. There's 2 left.
Natural 16 on the one I've been shooting the whole time.
Okay.
12, 16 magical piercing.
Okay. You knock his head off and his body falls to the ground, unmoving.
Job sometimes.
There's one left. It's Harbeck's turn.
Let's see. 15.
That'll hit.
11 points of damage.
Oh, he's hurt pretty bad, but it's his go, and he's going to swing at you. And with a 22, he's going to hit for 5 points of bludgeoning damage. Now it's Vex's turn again.
Okay, another Eldritch Blast. That's a 2 on the die, so an 8 to hit.
That'll hit.
For 8 force damage.
Okay.
And 10 feet of knockback.
Okay. It hits him, and it knocks him back 10 feet, and it looks like he's going to go down for a second, but then he climbs back up in his feet. He's still standing, and it's Dirk's turn.
Come on, come on. Oh, narrowed on that one.
Did you roll on that one?
That one.
Well, what's your total?
Oh, my total is, I mean, it's still 10.
No, you hit him.
Okay.
You don't know how, but you hit him. You don't get sneak
It's the
attack, though,
worst
because he
shot
got
ever.
knocked back 10.
That's 9 magical piercing.
You hit him, and he goes down. He's done.
The greatest trio.
I'm going to go over to Vex and I'm going to say, thank you for putting out your ball of fire and thank you for the heal.
You're welcome, but that was dangerous for you to run in front of my fire, friend. I was trying to keep them at bay so they couldn't hurt us.
I've got to go upstairs to loot the body while they make out.
Got it.
I'm going to spend Uh, I'm just going to use mending on things that look like the worst off.
Okay, you can do that. This place is pretty old and run down anyway. But
I wonder if he knew his house had zombies in it.
I'm upstairs.
maybe-
I'm not answering that.
So you're looting the guy that was in the studded leather armor?
Let's see what goodies this guy had.
The only goodies you find on him is he does have studded leather armor. He has 2 old long swords, and he has a longbow with a quiver with 20 arrows in it.
A +1 longbow?
No, just a regular longbow. Now, if he had a +1 longbow, he'd been using it.
Oh yeah, I would have fucking stole that so fast. This is the bow I've been using. That short bow, he had it the whole time.
I let him borrow it at the start of the fight.
Yeah. Well, at the end of it, but it didn't matter.
And that's all you find.
All right, I take his stuff, strip him down, go back downstairs, and follow the tunnel, I guess, while just mending stuff.
Okay. The tunnel goes underneath the barn, and it opens up into about a 20 by 20 area, and there's some old casks and crates down there, but some have been busted open, and whatever was in them has long been gone or eaten by rats or whatever. And it's pretty obvious from looking at the kind of muddy and dirty ground that this is where the zombies have been down in here in a while, shuffling around and stuff, like they were kept down in here.
How long?
Kept like pets?
Kept like that?
No, I mean, there's not like water bowls out for them or anything like that.
Come here.
You will
come
find
get your
you will find like
kibbles.
you will find like a few humanoid or humanish bones here and there that have been gnawed upon.
Well, I hope we didn't kill his prize zombies. That would
Why
be
would
awkward.
anyone prize a zombie?
I don't know if maybe he's been raising zombies. These might be his best ones, and we just killed them.
Wouldn't technically the best zombies be the newly raised ones, not the ones you keep for years?
I don't know how humans and Illumina people do things. This could just be how it's done.
Yeah.
Me either, honestly. I'm gonna look at.
Yeah. They can. The 2 of them could probably take a short rest while I'm mending, because I'm probably not going to leave until I make sure this place is structurally sound.
I would love a short rest.
Okay, you can take a short rest in the bloody, bony, stinky zombie place.
Yeah, I'm just going to investigate. I want to know how old this place is approximately.
You're probably going to guess this farmhouse is 50-ish years old. And it really doesn't look like it's been lived in anytime soon. Probably at least 20 years it's been emptied or abandoned or whatever. And you don't really see any looking outside around the property. You don't really see signs like there's been a lot of people around here much. This place is kind of off by itself, and it was probably a little farmstead at one time. May have even been a nice place, but it's old, run down, abandoned. So this guy in the studded leather armor set up his little thing of zombies, and they were having whatever kind of fun undead have outside of the city.
Have any other personal effects on them? Just his
No.
weapons and armor?
Just his weapons and armor. Well, of course, there's also rumors that there's vampires in Illumina. Maybe these guys worked for them. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just coincidence.
These guys were vampires?
Calm down, they're just rumors. of all people it came from Hope and Oral, who have tall tales of their own accord. Wouldn't believe everything that they say.
So, well,
Seriously, do you believe that killed the wife happens to be a succubus? That a human?
Hope was really nice to me.
Yeah, well, he's not the brightest person.
so using mending 60 times while they take a short rest. Do I get it structurally sound?
It does not look like it's going to fall in immediately, for sure. but the place is old.
No, maybe it would be better if we just burned it down.
I could do that.
Somebody could come in and do a lot of work and fix it up, but it probably would just be easier to tear it down and start over. But it might be cheaper actually to try to shore up the walls and things like that. But it does not look like it's going to fall down like right now. Or anything.
Maybe he had insurance and he wanted us to wreck the place.
I wouldn't expect a person like you to know rights like that so easily.
Oh, I heard rumors.
Yes, I guess that is common in major cities like this. Though I wouldn't want to do anything risky without knowing the proper documentation. Although arson is definitely not in my repertoire.
Yet. It almost was today.
Almost.
So, the place is as sturdy as it's going to be.
I guess we have nothing left to do but find that old teacher again, see if the other task.
Yeah. So.
You guys heading back then?
Yep.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna give all the stuff to Arbeck. Stuff is old and broken. If you want to try to fix them up and maybe sell them.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it takes you guys a while. You walk back into the city, make your way to Cutpurse Row. You still see some kids playing, and the one who brought you guys, he's now playing with them. They're playing kickball now. And you make your way back to the one building, go into the dark room, and now the older gentleman in the nice dark clothes it looks like he's putting things away, cleaning things up, and putting them away.
My robe
and as you come into the room,
is all smoky and tattered from putting out fires and things getting on fire.
and he's like, you're back. Did you have any luck getting those squatters to leave?
Oh.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Kind of.
Whether or not they were undead when you bought the place was one thing or another.
Undead?
Yeah, that took a little bit more effort.
Well, I'm sorry to hear it. Or all of you. Well, it looks like all of you survived at the very least.
Yeah, and your place almost survived.
It almost survived?
It's still there.
It's still there. Touch and go.
Kind of.
I had to mend a lot.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I'll have to go in and take a look. It might be easier just to tear the whole place down. I'm not sure.
We could do that for you.
That's all right. I'll find the free minute or two here and there to make my way down there. So, how much do I owe you, gentlemen and lady?
I would say at least 150. each.
Does that price sound fair to the other two of you?
Sure,
No,
it was fun.
Do what?
I was just looking at Vex to see what she would say. Yes, I guess it will be suitable.
He's like, okay, very well. He pulls out the hefty coin purse from beneath his cloak, and he counts out 150 gold for each of you. Ah, do you have time to look into another matter for me? Hopefully one not so challenging.
Sure. I mean, I think we do.
Yeah.
I'm good for the task.
Well,
As long as it's not too battle intensive.
hopefully not. I would not expect it to be, but then again, I didn't expect that to be either. My granddaughter has gone missing.
I heard something about that. That a bunch of girls, or a girl. There was something with the guild. I heard people talking about of something that had happened.
People have gone missing?
Oh, yeah. A merchant's daughter went missing, and it was not a very good situation of what they found at the other end of it.
I'd rather not talk about our missions.
No, that's understandable. Well, she's been missing for at least a couple of months now. She was... Well, there were two teachers here, and they are no longer here, and my granddaughter would have been the next choice to take their place. But soon after, she apparently disappeared, and the children here do not know what happened to her. And soon after I arrived on the scene to check on things, to make sure my granddaughter was doing okay as the new teacher here. But I found her missing, and as I said, the children do not know what happened to her. So I do not know if a dark fate has befallen her, or if she decided she just did not want to be... She did not want to teach these children anymore, and she left on her own. I have no idea what has happened to her. Well, early on, I used conventional means to try to find her without any luck, and more recently, I've taken stronger steps, but I've still not had any opportunity to find her. I have no idea where she's at. I don't know if she's in the city, if she's even on the continent. Since it's been so long, she could be anywhere in this world. And I would appreciate any help in finding her. Yes, she's about 20 years old, has long dark hair. She is not, for a female, she is not well endowed, let me put it that way. Rather plain looking, though I guess she could be cute in a certain light.
Like me.
Oh, what the heck? This will be the easiest way, and he cast a spell. And suddenly standing in the kitchen is a 5-foot tall figure. And Dirk, you would definitely know. It looks dead on Scribe, other than it's got long dark hair instead of short dark hair. Same clothes and everything. And the old man will go, it's like, well, this isn't full size, of course. She would be taller than this. But if something has happened to her, I would like to know. And if she ran off from her position, then I need to know that as well, because she would need to be reprimanded.
So she's not fairy height then?
No, she's taller than that. She's about 5'7".
So she's
But-
more like angel height.
I suppose some angels are that height. Some are probably bigger. Some are probably smaller.
Well,
But if I would like you to find her location and then come back and let me know so that I may approach her.
And just theoretically speaking, so she wears these kind of clothes, and her head should be on her body.
As far as I know, yes, that's an odd question. She might be working for a temple or something like that if she's still in the city. She has particular talents in writing and creating documents and things like that. So she may be doing work along those lines. I know temples do a lot of that kind of work. Or she could possibly be working for the city.
Like some sort of scribe.
Yes, very much so.
Ty,
Yes.
which one of your characters was in the game with did you run the game with summoning the Archon, or was that Alex's game?
that was me.
That was Alex's game.
Yeah. Were you in that game?
I was.
Were you playing Scribe?
Yes.
Okay. Then I know what Scribe looks
Yeah.
like.
I figured all of you probably would.
Scribe
Yeah.
lost her head, correct?
At one point, yes.
Okay.
I don't think any of us personally know that.
I was playing in that game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You were level 1 that game, weren't you?
That was the first game with this character, so yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah, you would know Scribe lost his/her head, but you would also know that Scribe was brought back.
Yeah.
And again, if you have any luck finding her, you know where to find me. At least for the next few weeks, I'll be here. If I cannot find her, I guess I will be staying here until I can find a replacement teacher.
We may have a lead.
Well, that was quick, but sure,
Yeah.
if you have a way of finding.
We'll get back to you. Let us look into it.
Yeah.
Well, I will just give you a heads up, so to speak, as the young people say. I have used rather extreme magical measures to try to find her and have had no luck. And that surprises me and brings me a little concern that she's still alive. But even if she were dead, I could probably find that out. But very well.
Or maybe a little of column A and a little of column B. Who knows?
It could be. That kind of is frightening in a way. But if you can find her and come back and tell me her whereabouts, then give me your fee, depending on how much trouble it is at that point.
We'll tell you after we find out how much trouble it actually is.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to leave and go right back to the guild.
Me
Okay.
too.
And what's Dirk doing?
What kind of reprimands are you talking about here?
I would have to discuss it with her. It would depend on the situation.
Very well. Let's go.
Okay. And as you're turning to leave, he says, Dirk, a word in private for a moment, please.
Well,
And that I know of, he's not given you a name for himself, and none of you have given him your names.
You two go on ahead. I'll catch up.
We already did.
Yeah, we left.
Okay.
I'll go back into the room, close the door behind me.
Very well. He's like, you seem to be a man of particular skills and talents. And depending on what has happened to my granddaughter, I'm going to need a new teacher for these young people. Of course, I want to get it outside of the city now. I'm going to set it up out at the farmstead. I think you are a man who could be of use if you would be interested. If not, no hard feelings. But I need someone to train these children.
I feel like that the methods that you use and the methods I use are two different methods.
Well, let me put it this way. I want these children trained to run, to hide, and how to defend themselves. Some of them who show certain aptitudes for other abilities, I encourage those and help to seek training for them there. Some people might consider that rough. Some people might even consider what I'm doing with these children evil. But I don't make these children do anything against their will. And if not for me giving them skills to survive in this world, most of them would end up either in prostitution or strung out on narcotics or drunks. They're street urchins. They don't have very long or fortunate lives ahead of them. At least I give them an opportunity for something else. Once they reach their teen years, I take more of a personal hand in it and look into their situation. And I usually try to find a placement for them. Sometimes within an organization of my own, sometimes elsewhere. But I always offer it to them freely. If they want to go their own way, they're more than welcome to. For that matter, these children are allowed to go their own way now. I don't force them to stay here. But at least I give them some protection and a chance to protect themselves that they otherwise might not have. As I said, to repeat myself, I don't force them to do anything they don't want to do. I don't even try to trick them into doing anything they want to do. I make them an offer, and if they accept it, they do. You can think about that. If you're still not interested, fine, and again, no hard feelings. But 100 gold a month might be tempting to you. And you could look at it as a way of steering young people along a better path, so to speak.
Is that 100 gold per month personally, or is that supposed to be invested to your...
That's 100 gold. That's 100 gold a month to you personally.
If we manage to find your granddaughter?
I need to have a discussion with her, whether she will be returning as teacher or not. And she may not want to. I have my suspicions she left on her own for her own purposes. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I kind of suspect. Anyway, something to think about.
I'm considering it. Let me see what I can dig up first. I'll come back to you.
Okay, very well.
And I'll go leave to the guild now.
Okay, you guys get back to the guild. Dirk's probably 5-10 minutes behind you.
Is Scribe there?
You look around, you do not see Scribe anywhere, but there are people there. There's other guild members, and there's servants and things like that.
I asked around about Scribe if he's been here recently, if he said he was going somewhere.
One of the servants will be like, "Oh, yes, Master Scribe was headed to the city stables to check on the new horses that he purchased for the guild."
Yeah. So I'm gonna get vexed and gonna go to the stables.
Dirk's arriving about the time you guys are getting ready to leave again. So are all of you going? Go ahead.
I'm gonna... Do I see them where they're heading?
They're walking out the door as you're walking up to it, let's say.
Okay. I'll already looked around and I'll follow them.
Are you like following them clandestinely, like kiting, or are you just walking along with them?
I'm actually going to stand back to see if anyone is, or maybe even noticed me.
If those two have noticed you, or anyone else,
Anyone else?
give me a perception roll.
Oh, that's not good. With my current bonuses, that's a 12.
And your passive is
15.
okay. No one in the street seems to be paying any attention to you.
Anyone paying attention to them?
No, you don't notice anyone in particular, like following them or tailing them or anything like that.
All right. I'll catch up to them.
Okay. Dirk comes running, jogging up to you guys. And after a little bit, you'll make your way around to the city stables. And yeah, you can ask around a little bit, and you'll, if you don't already know, where the UAG horses and carts are kept at and well taken care of. And yeah, you can see Scribe there, actually brushing one of the horses. And he's with a young stable boy, but as the three of you walk up, the stable boy kind of like, okay, I'm going to disappear now, and goes away.
It's wise of you.
I go up to him and I say, "Your grandfather's looking for you."
Scribe immediately stops brushing the horse, takes the brush off his hand, bends over and puts it in a bucket, then turns to face Harbeck and says, "Well, I thought I'd have a little longer than this."
Maybe you do.
Did he show up at the guild looking for me?
Nope. We were doing a different job for him, and when we returned, he said he was looking for someone, and the description matched you, except it was a girl. Are you a girl?
Scribe's head kind of hangs for a moment, and this says, "Yes, I'm female."
When Scribe's head starts to hang, I kind of like startle for a second, and I'm like, whew, I thought you were going to lose your head for a moment.
She looks up at you. Normally I would appreciate the joke, but I'm not sure it's time for it. Okay, so he's within the city then.
Yeah, he was down on Cutpurse Row. What's the...
Of course.
Yeah, we had to clear a house that supposedly had vagabonds in it, but it just had a bunch of zombies.
Oh, that property he bought outside of the city?
Yeah.
He never has done anything with that. I guess he will now.
You said he was turning into a school of some sort.
One that
I'm
is
sure
asked me
he
to
is.
lead.
Oh,
Seems you have your own
Okay.
duties that you're supposed to attend to.
Apparently, he tried to scry you, and it didn't quite work.
No, for the last month, at least it wouldn't. She looks at Dirk and is like, "You're not a member of the family. You would be safe. If he's paying you well, take the job."
I intend to.
As for me, I think I need to leave the city. It will not be safe for me here. I'm fairly sure, as long as he's around.
What will he do?
We would fight, and I would die because I'm not ready for him yet, and may never be ready for him.
Ready?
Let me see how I can explain this. My grandfather is the head of not only my family, but sort of a private organization. And the way they find leadership is through eliminating the old leadership. And my grandfather, I'm sure, believes that if not now, that eventually I will want to take him out so that I can become leader of not only the family, but of his group. At this point, I have no interest in doing that, which is one of the reasons I left. But I don't believe I could ever make him believe that. And as long as I'm alive, he would consider me a threat.
Is there maybe something you want us to tell him, like a message you'd like us to deliver? You could write something down and we could bring it to him.
He said he wanted to speak with you.
Tell him the truth. Tell him I was killed.
Well, that did happen.
That did happen. But even then, I think it's best for me to leave the city for a while. God, now I kind of know a little bit how Bellinor felt. A little.
Who?
Bard that lives here.
Or used to. Wherever he's at now. If he's still alive.
Nobody's seen him ever since he escaped the prison. And,
Well, at least
and to date, he has the most expensive bounty in this continent so far. He's apparently wanted in 2 different countries and continents.
Oh, don't tell my grandfather that, please. Don't bring that up in front of him. I don't think he would be interested, but he might be tempted just for something to do.
So your grandfather, he's really powerful then?
Weren't you paying attention to the way he spoke?
Well, yeah, but some people just talk that way.
Yes, but we, and probably him, he says he's been using extremely powerful magics. And he spoke as if this place was just another world to him. It would make sense that he can move between planes, kind of like how we did. Just I'm not really sure how I did.
To him, Illumina and all of Aerywood is just a small backwater world where he has a school.
So does he have schools other places? Should we be wary of him?
I don't know all the details. No, I don't think you need to be wary of him, to be honest. If you ever cross him, then you need to be extremely worried. But he's not necessarily... it's difficult to explain. He's not necessarily some wild, crazy, evil person, but I wouldn't by any means call him a good person either. He's very business-oriented and to some extent religious-oriented in his own way. And unless his God has some reason not to like you, or someone's paying a whole bunch of money to have you hunted down.
What God does he follow?
It's known as the Nameless God.
The Nameless?
guys can make-
19 religion.
It sounds like sometimes there are weird, vague names given to beings that aren't normally worshipped as gods. Warlocks might know them as Great Old Ones. They're kind of beyond being gods in a way, though they're rumored to be as powerful as gods, if not even more powerful, some would say. But there are occasionally cults and groups and some warlocks who sort of kind of worship beings like that.
I wonder if this nameless god is the same as the faceless god.
I've heard him called that before too.
Hmm.
Stay in town for a little longer. I'm going to see if I can't strike some sort of deal with him. Or maybe try to get some more information out of him.
Very well. But I will find you. I'm moving and not letting any of you know my location, just in case. For my own safety. Perhaps even yours. I don't...
You two can go back and inform him. I'm gonna go find a place and start working on the stuff Dirk gave me.
Good luck with that stuff.
Okay.
You gave me the 2 long swords and the studded leather?
And the longbow and 20 arrows.
I don't need the arrows. You can have the
I'll
arrows.
keep them. I'll keep them. I use a lot of them. All I'm missing, I do.
They're kind of old arrows, but they're sturdy enough and they work.
Poison damage?
No. They've got a bit of a dirt-like smell to them.
Help me blend in when I'm in the wild.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so the dwarf's going to go work on cleaning up the old weapons and armor.
Yeah.
What are Vex and Dirk going to do?
I'm going to use
Go ahead.
Okay.
Use a combination of mending and my smith tools.
Okay. Yeah, the stuff's old, but you can get it definitely in good-looking shape, decent shape after, I don't know, an hour or so.
I think we need to go speak to the old man.
Yes, we do.
Okay. You guys can make your way down there. It's starting to get later in the day now. It's not dark yet, but it's not far from it.
I'd like to be back before dark. We should...
Well, let's see if you live the next 5 minutes.
I go back to the guild before I head back to Cutpurse Alley just to relay things to whatever guild master happens to be present.
Yeah, Pinkos will be around, but he's up in it.
I'm just going to go back there by myself. I'm not going to fucking get them involved.
Okay. Okay, the UAG gets paid. So, Vex, you're going to go too?
Yep.
Dirk, you'll get there like 5 minutes ahead of him. And you'll find the old guy is still back in the kitchen. Now he's got a book out he seems to be going through, but he'll look up as you come into the room. And he's like, that was fast.
I have some leads.
Very well. Anything to report?
I want to know some things first.
Okay. I'm not sure it's any of your business, but go ahead.
I want you to clarify more about what you intend to do with her.
I intend to speak with her and find out why she left.
That's good, I guess. I'll have to talk with my previous master first before I accept your duties, but I intend to.
So you don't believe you can find my granddaughter then?
Turns out she was killed.
Vex just walks through the door and says that. Vex!
That's why I asked about the whole head thing, because I actually saw her decapitated. I wasn't sure that that was who it was, but yep, that was her.
I'm gonna let Vex do the rest of the talking because I'm not involved in whatever she's trying to do.
Okay, Vex, give me... You can argue something else, but I'm going to say a deception roll, but I'll give you advantage on it since you're sort of half telling the truth.
Old.
Ooh.
But sure, we'll go with deception and persuasion are the same for me anyhow.
Okay.
You said advantage?
Yes, I'll let you have advantage because you're, like I said, you're sort of kind of telling the truth.
All right, with advantage, that's a 21.
Okay. He stands up from behind the table and sort of slams his book closed, and he looks surprised for the first time. He's showing some real... He's like, so my granddaughter is dead?
I saw her killed by this dragonborn, but then one of our allies eventually killed the dragonborn. It was this red guy, red dragonborn, I think. It's all a little fuzzy. I was still new to adventuring, and I almost got killed too. Actually, a lot of people almost got killed. It was just a terrible thing.
So she joined your guild?
Well, I don't know when that happened because she was already there when I came in, but we had to go and stop this village, and there were pirates. Oh my goodness, it was so confusing. And there was this dragonborn pirate guy, and he burned the docks and was sinking ships, and he had this assassin working for him, and the assassin cut off her head.
He plops back down in his chair.
But yeah, I guess she was a guild member, and I'll turn to Dirk and say, was she a guild member for a while?
Not for very long. I think that was her second or third mission.
Did you get this assassin's name, the one who cut off her head?
I don't know what their name was. I don't remember. But we... Oh, shoot, no. Because we had killed her, but then I guess she wasn't dead because she came back and she was trying to kill us while we were leaving in our sleep, and I don't remember her name. That assassin though, shoot. If you give us time, I could probably find one of our allies who knew who she was and find out who she is.
Very well. Dirk, I've made a job offer to you.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another one. Bring me the assassin's head and I'll give you 10,000 gold.
I don't know. That sounds like a pretty good deal.
Might be more difficult than you said.
I want her head. I don't want all of her body. I don't want her tied up. I don't want her unconscious. I just want her head.
Out of character question, what did they do with just bodies they find crisps on the street? Them in the river?
Probably throw them in the river. There might be some pauper graves in a city cemetery somewhere, but it probably depends on who's working guard detail or cleanup detail at the time. But yeah, they probably just get dumped in the river.
So it's been a little bit. Has that assassin popped back up in subsequent adventures since that adventure, or is that something we don't know?
I believe she's dead, actually.
Yeah,
'Cause-
she's legitimately dead, and like that's why I was saying she's dead. Bellinor killed her.
Okay, because I had thought that like we had thought we killed her, and then like we were sleeping below deck, and she came back and she was killing people, and I thought she had like escaped again.
It's I think it's common knowledge that she's dead now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just we
but
don't
he
know
will
where her
say-
body went.
Yeah. Bellinor might have an idea if he could be found. Maybe.
No, he was on the run.
Oh,
He killed her and then left.
okay. He might be able to say where he last saw her at. And he will say, and Dirk, that extra job to bring me her head, consider that above and beyond the duties I would expect of you with the children. That's an extra, so to speak.
Sure. I'll see if I can find her head. Start talking to
Very
the
well.
guards on Water Rat Road.
Hey, what do you guys do with the bodies? He's like, oh, very well. So how much do I owe you for this information about my granddaughter?
I feel like, considering the circumstances and the sadness, I feel like this one should be on us. It should be free of charge because it's no pleasure for anyone to deliver bad news.
Unexpected news at that. Dirk, do you feel the same way, or do you wish payment for this?
I don't want payment.
Very well. Well then, Dirk, if you're not ready to give me your word now, I can be found here for at least a couple of more weeks, and then other matters we'll be forced to press on elsewhere. But one way or another, within 2 weeks, I will have a new teacher. If I have to bring someone in from outside of Illumina, then so be it.
I said I'd already take the job.
You will take the job for sure then. Okay. Well, then I will let you know what I expect of you.
All right.
And anybody want to do anything else in town? Or anything else?
Yeah, I'm going to search for that body because 10,000 gold is a lot to pass up.
I'll help him search for the body. Because I don't like killing, but I guess now that I've been informed that she's already dead, I feel okay looking for a corpse.
I'm going to sell the items.
Okay. Since you've cleaned them up and worked them up and everything, you can get standard book value for them. I thought Dirk might keep the longbow.
Unless I get it chanted, it doesn't really have much value.
No, but then there'll be that one villain who's like 10 feet outside of your short bow's range or something. You'd be like, damn, I wish I had a longbow.
I'll work on it. I plan on picking up a shield now. So.
Oh, yeah, you said you were going into fighting some. Shield could be handy. Okay, as for finding the body, I will possibly... That might be another adventure, actually.
All right.
You want us to roll percentiles to see if the body's even still in existence?
Oh, I can figure that out later.
I think it's been like 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. Any number of things could have happened to that body. She might even be back somehow or other.
Ooh.
Yeah, the lifted purses snagged the body back in the...
Yeah,
Oh no!
they raised her, or I don't know. Maybe a slumming vampire found the body and thought, "Oh, she's cute. She would look nice as a vampire."
Turns out she's a demi-lich now.
Yeah, in the span of 3 weeks, she was just like so pissed off at the UAG. She got raised, became a vampire, discovered how to become a lich, demi-liched them.
She's been busy.
Yeah, she's been using
Dark
her time.
Queen has been kind of talking to her.
Yeah.
Okay. You both get 41 golds, 6 silver, and 6 copper.
Oh, I tell you to keep it. You can have my share.
Before or after we donate money to the UAG?
I think that's just selling stuff.
Selling stuff you don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to give that to the UAG.
Okay.
You just have to give him 15 gold.
Yeah,
This is
for the
gonna
one.
be an awkward talk.
What's going to be an awkward talk?
Well, I'm gonna have to tell him I'm not gonna be his servant anymore. I picked up another job.
Yeah, he offered to pay you, but I think that other job is going to be paying a lot more than what Alan could pay you.
As soon as I tell him that, I'm like, it's 100 gold a month.
Okay. Well,
And I think all the expenses are paid for. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to end our broadcast now. We may talk about some more things behind the scenes, but thanks to those who will or are watching or have watched. Hope you enjoyed the session. And thanks to the gamers for showing up tonight. And